Hi, welcome to AllGen's Money Brews. I'm Robert.
And I'm Karen.
And on AllGen's Money Brews, we talk about financial topics over the brew of the day. And what are you drinking today?
Today I'm having pumpkin spice latte.
I got a straight up quad espresso because I need a little energy. It's late in the day. Money and meaning are two things that go together. Money's a very emotional subject, right? And sometimes some of the decisions that we make, we regret later on.
Yep.
And today we're talking about some of our financial regrets. So Karen, is there anything that you've done with money that you would have done differently had you had time to consider it?
Yes, absolutely. One of my biggest money regrets is my wedding.
What?
Yeah.
How much did you spend on it?
I spent $15,000 in my wedding, and granted it was a small wedding, it was under 50 people, and $10,000 in my honeymoon. So overall $25,000. And I understand, being a financial advisor, I know it's under the average cost of a wedding, which is $30,000.
Right.
But I still feel some regret on how I spent my money.
Why do you think that is?
I just feel like it was, I created a lot of emotion around this idea of getting married, of course, because it's an emotional day.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not so much for guys, but for girls it is most of the time. And so I think I overspent on some things that I maybe could have just not spent that much money on. And I don't know, I think there's just still kind of a touchy subject for me still.
So for all of our listeners and viewers out there who are planning a wedding, down and dirty, what are 2 or 3 things you would have cut some costs on?
My dress and the decorations maybe. I definitely not the food, I think, because it's all about the experience.
Okay.
At the end of the day, people are going to remember what they ate, if they were able to drink, if it was a cash bar or not.
Right.
And how the cake was perhaps, and really if they had a good time. The music, that's the other part of it. The music was important. So not so much the decorations and the little gifts and the dress. It's just a celebration of life, and you just have to remember that, and it's an experience. So maybe around that I would have done things a little bit differently.
Yeah, I think I can relate to that. Not so much on the wedding part of it, but just in terms of money in general, right? Any decision that I've made that I later regret, it's just because I didn't think it through, right? So for me, one of the things that I think about quite often, when my wife and I, before we moved to Orlando, we were living in this another neighborhood out in the Atlantic and the beach, and during that period of time we spent a lot of money having people over, throwing parties, having really great time. But when I think back on it, it wasn't really what was important to us. And when we look back, we're like, well, we should have traveled more. We should have done this more. We should have done that more. And it just felt like the issue wasn't the money that we spent. It was just that we were making impulsive decisions that didn't really align with our values. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and the other thing is, after we came back from the honeymoon, we were in debt. So we had some credit card debt. We had paid for our wedding in cash, but we still had 70% of our honeymoon was still on a credit card.
Wow, okay.
And so when we came back, we had that, at least I did, because I've told you that my husband feels absolutely no regret whatsoever around the wedding. But here I was looking at my credit card bill and thinking, oh my gosh, yeah, we had a good time, but now we have to pay for this, and I wish I would have planned it a little bit better. So that's another thing. It's just planning for what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You mentioned what's the outcome going to be when you come back. Are you going to have a credit card bill waiting for you at home?
Agreed.
Because it'll taint that experience.
Yeah, it takes it kind of pops that enjoyment balloon. So as we talk to our audience and we're just talking about, like amongst friends, how we would talk to a friend about money, I would leave you with 3 things. Envision what it is that you want to accomplish. What does it look like, that decision? Whether it's buying a car, buying a house, getting married, whatever. What will it look like? What does success look like? And then work back from there. Create a plan to get there, so that way you take out some of the emotion, right? If you give yourself time to consider and give yourself benchmarks to accomplish, then it takes a lot of that emotion out of it. And I think ultimately, at the end of the day, the last thing would be give yourself a little grace. You're going to make decisions that probably are regretful later on, but ultimately you learn from those, you move forward, and you don't make those decisions again. So for everybody who's listening, please let us know if you have anything that you regret, any decision that you would like to share with everybody on the internet. Otherwise, just give yourself a little grace, think about the plan through, and make small, measurable steps to make sure that you accomplish that in time.
See you next time.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to AllGen's Money Brews, where we talk about
Money over the brew of the day. Keep on going. We're going to
Money
unpack
over
this.
Don't you brew tea as well?
I don't know. You brew everything. I guess it's
Beer.
more like a personality
beer.
test.
Don't you brew beer?
Hey guys, do you ever wonder about what to do
yeah.
with money? Do you ever wonder about money? We're going to talk about money over the brew of the day. Is that good?
No.
Okay, well then let's work on
That's
it.
kind of scary.
Yeah, see?